Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another L&D, a special edition of L&D Talk on blab.im. My name is Brent Schlenker. I'm the Chief Learning Officer for litmus.com, and today we're talking about Blab.
Learning and Development Talk. Welcome to Learning and Development Talk. Tech Tuesday, we're understanding. Live streaming on Blab. Welcome to Learning and Development Talk with your host, Brent Schlenker. Thank you.
Yay!
Hi.
Thank you, Sam.
And then he runs away.
Just like that.
Drop mic.
Yeah, right? That's the Blab version of drop mic, right? Just that's awesome. So that was the wonderful musical stylings of Sam Rogers, everybody. My co-host on Fridays. So yes, today normally is Tech Tuesday, but at a special request of my friend Lisa Goldstein, thank you very much. She is joining us with her crew from Nielsen. Thanks for hanging out with us, Lisa.
Absolutely. We're so glad to be here and couldn't possibly have a better person to hang out with.
Oh,
really excited.
Stop it. You're making me all blush all over. And Adam, thanks for joining us again. But you're a Nielsen guy too, right?
Yeah. So this is great. I get both sides of my world in one place. Thanks, Brent.
Yeah. Hey,
thanks, Lisa, for organizing.
Yeah, it's great. So I do believe that this will go down as a record number of people in one of the L&D Blabs. So thank you, everybody from Nielsen, for hanging out with us. And really why everybody's here today. It's Tech Tuesday, but we're going to be talking about live streaming video and specifically about Blab. And what is Blab? Why does Blab do what it does? Why is it so popular? Why is it trending? Maybe how does it work a little bit? And then how do we use it in learning and in the work that we do? And does it fit in the corporate learning space? Is it maybe a little bit more informal? Are there any specific ways we can use it, but maybe not use it? Right? All those different sides of the coin when new technologies come up, we love to talk about. So I think, let me first ask, like step one for everybody with Blab is how do you get in, right? How do you figure it out? Do we have everybody in, or are there still some people struggling to hit the right link, Lisa?
I think so. I think it'd be interesting if people threw into the IM what was the challenge for, I think there's at least half a dozen people who are here now that couldn't get in right away. So why wasn't it easy? And what did you have to do to get in?
Yeah, that would be great. Because I think, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but you need a Twitter ID, and
yes,
you sign in with the Twitter ID handle. Then once you're logged in, then you find this particular Blab, and it should say live. All of the different Blabs that are currently live, you find that one and you click on it, and it should just bring you right in.
Yeah. Okay. So Louise is saying she tried to just click on the link that I had emailed out. It didn't work, but if she just pasted the link into Chrome, then it worked.
Oh.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay.
Oh, and somebody else is saying, so historically our standard at Nielsen has been IE. We're switching to Chrome, but Laura's saying that it has to be Chrome or Firefox.
Yeah, because somebody who's using IE just kept getting kicked back to the login page.
Oh, yeah. I think I vaguely remember that this does not work in IE.
I'll Lisa, I'll reply to all and say that in case anyone's stuck.
Oh, thank you, Adam. Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, so the other thing is too, let me just clarify for everybody, maybe just a little historical perspective on this. So Blab actually is only a little over a year old. They first launched in, I believe it was March of last year. And a friend of mine, he goes by the handle iSocialFans on Twitter and on every other social media thing. He's one of the guys I look to see what's the latest on on social media and what's going on. And I just happened to see him periscoping one day, and he was pointing his periscope at his screen, and I saw these 4 cubes, and I just was like, oh my gosh, what is that? That is so awesome. And so I immediately texted him right away and asked, what the heck is that? And he told me blab.im, and I immediately went there and jumped on, and have been just testing it and playing around with it ever since. I did a session at JD's request at, what was it, Technology, or maybe it was last year's ATD. We did some social live video collaborative stuff, right, JD? It was TK. Okay, yeah, it was Technology. So introduced some folks to Blab there as well, which was a lot of fun. But anyways, it's about a little over a year old. It's in beta, so it's had its fair share of hiccups along the way. But
it seems a lot farther than beta.
What's that?
It seems a lot farther than beta.
Even a year ago, it felt further than beta to me. I was very happy with how it was working even back then, and it's exceptionally stable. There's,
don't jinx us though.
Yeah, I know, right? I think the only real issues I've had has been with the recordings, right? Sometimes the recordings didn't happen, and so one of the cool features about it that I really like, so like what we're doing right now, so you're able to jump in and not record if you want to. You can just have a conversation, and then at the end of it, you close it out, and it doesn't record, it doesn't stick around, nothing. It just sort of, it disappears. Well, as best digital stuff can these days. And but if you click that record button, you'll get an email when the blab is done saying, would you like to download just the audio, or would you like to download the video? Or you could click both buttons if you wanted to. So you could very quickly turn what you're doing in Blab into a podcast and publish it, or you can take that video and publish it on your internal whatever enterprise video serving system you have, or then now lately they've gotten a button where you don't even have to do the download from the email anymore if you want to go straight to YouTube. They've got a button as soon as it's done processing. It takes a little while, especially if you do this for like an hour. It takes a while for that hour-long video to process. But then a button pops up at the end of it that says upload to YouTube. And so you just click that, select which YouTube account you want it to go to, and they automatically upload it for you. So they make it very, very easy to share the content.
Hey, Brent, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
When you first said, I'd like to have my own L&D talk on Blab, how did you set this space up?
So it isn't really a space. And this isn't something that I really put too much thought into, and I'll tell everybody just a little secret here. And Lisa, all your kind words, it makes me kind of feel bad because I don't really feel like I do anything special other than
you do.
All
the knowledge sharing you do is fantastic. I think it's really helpful.
I just tinker, and I just stumble into a lot of this stuff, and I really don't mind screwing up. I think that's probably my superpower. That's a great superpower. I don't mind exposing just complete ignorance, with anything. So it just doesn't bother me at all. Actually, I find it quite fun, because I like to think that I'm helping other people that are really afraid of that sort of thing. So I'll go jump in the water first and make sure it's safe, and I'll embarrass myself so that you don't have to. But I knew that. So just to answer your question, I'll try to keep it short, but I've known for a long time video it was going to take over the world. Basically, as far as media is concerned, everything is heading that direction. And whether it's recorded, whether it's mobile, whether it's professional, not professional, edited, not edited, streaming, whatever, everything has some sort of video element to it. And so I've known that I've wanted to start doing more with video personally and figuring out how does that work? What does that look like? And like everything else, I sometimes start by overthinking it and trying to come up with a fancy solution to doing that. And then at the end of going through all those, taking all that time and drawing pictures of things and going, oh, I'm going to do it like this, I'm going to do that, I finally just go, I'm just going to do it. And I just jump in and just do it. So it started with Periscope. I started doing that. And for me, if I don't make a commitment to myself to do something regularly, it doesn't happen. So I told myself I'm going to jump on Periscope at least once a day. I didn't want to commit to a time because my schedule's always all over the place. So I just said before the end of the day, I'm going to make sure I jump on Periscope every day. I did that for a while. And what I found was Periscope is a great tool for a monologue. It's great if you've got something to say, something to share with your community, Periscope is fabulous. It's quick, it's social, it's connected to your social networks, to Twitter and whatnot, and you can just push out a great video. People can watch it live, or you can record it and save it and whatnot. It's a totally different tool, but that's kind of where it started. And then what I realized was I really like talking to people. I really like having other people to interact with, and I knew Blab was there, but Blab's kind of scared me a little bit as far as doing it. And then once I kind of got over that, I decided I'm just going to put that aside. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to commit to doing one Blab every single day. I'm not going to commit to a time because I don't want anybody to hold me to it. And so I did that but then it got kind of lonely because nobody knew I was doing it. People weren't on Blab, so they weren't getting the notifications. And so I thought, okay, if I'm really going to make this work, if I'm really going to have people, my peers and colleagues to engage with every day, I need to commit. So that's when I decided, all right, 8 o'clock every morning, I'm going to jump into Blab and I'm going to just have a conversation. And I had no intention of naming the days. I had no intention of what I was even going to call. L&D talk wasn't even a thing. I think every day I called it something totally different. And I just went in and I just started doing it. And I think Craig was one of my early attendees, and it was a mess. It was many of them were just a horrible train wreck. Either I had nothing to say that day, or the tech went bad, or my tech in my house went bad, and things went nutty. The audio was bad. One day we spent the whole day just trying to troubleshoot my audio, and it was crazy. But over time, all that stuff smoothed out, and we're here today.
So now that you've used both, where do you find, you seem to be still liking Periscope and Blab. So when do you decide to turn one on and not the other?
I like Periscope for the spontaneous, I really have something to say and I want to share it. And before I lose the train of thought, I'll jump into Periscope and I'll do a live Periscope, especially if it's something I haven't worked out and I feel like it's something I still need to just kind of talk through out loud. I'll use Periscope, because then what I'll do is I'll just kind of cross my fingers and hope somebody that's on my Twitter stream at that particular time will also jump in and start asking me questions and engage. And that helps me kind of clarify my thoughts. And so I call it collaboration 1.5, right? It's not two-way collaboration. It's a little bit more than one-way collaboration. Like for the person that's on it, on video, it's a monologue. It's a one-way video conversation. But since people are able to jump in and give you feedback via the chat stream in Periscope, that's the half, right? It's like they can communicate back with you, but only minimally. So it's like 1.5-way communication as to 2-way communication, which is good.
And also less them communicating with each other, because when in Periscope it looks like, it flashes on the screen and then it goes away.
And then it goes away, right?
Versus here, it's there and you can go back and read the stream to see what people said.
Yeah. Which one gets more traffic for you? Paula was asking that.
I would say currently just Blab, just because of I've been more consistent with it. And like everybody says, if you talk to any of the social media people out there, the number one thing they talk about is consistency, right? Do it. You need to be consistent, and in some fashion, either consistent in your content, consistent in your timing, consistent in the tool, consistent in your voice, some aspect of everything you do has to be consistent. And that's when people just kind of start to get used to it. Like Adam, you're probably used to 8 o'clock in the morning. That's where Brent's going to be if I want to jump on.
11 o'clock Eastern, right. And yeah, I was, I would hear about you doing it and I'd be like, oh, I got to get on to Brent's thing, but I never had time. But then I finally jumped on and realized how easy it is to jump on. The idea that I just click a link, and if I just want to be on the side because I'm doing other things, I can just type in the chat. But if I want to get in and talk to you, I just take one of those spots and here I am. You didn't have to set me up. But I want to go back to what you were saying before, your humble pie. I want to push back on your humility a little bit, because there's two things you do that I think is what makes you unique. We all look at these new tools and we say, wow, I'd really like to be one of these people who jumps in and is an innovator with this tool. It's such a cool tool. We could use it for L&D. But what content am I going to do? I've got to come up with the best content. I've got to come up with a plan and some materials and a topic that people are interested in. And by the time I think that, I've gone on to other things because I'm busy. You go in and say, well, it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I don't know whether I have all the right stuff, but I'm just going to jump in there and do it. And then when people join you, because you've got a following, because people like talking to you, you take them along for the ride. You say to them, hey, look, we're figuring this stuff out together. And you bring people in that way, and you make it easy to fail and keep retrying until you get it right.
Well, thank you.
Don't want to make it blush more, but
I appreciate that. No, I mean, it's nice. I love to hear it. And because it's fun for me. It's what I love to do. It really is. I love to help people. And it's much more fun doing this kind of stuff with people than by yourself. So, anytime somebody's willing to take an hour out of their day to hang out with me, I find that exceptionally valuable. And I like to make sure that it was worth your time.
So can we have a caveat? I know we're talking about these tools and we're comparing Blab and Periscope, and we'll talk about other tools too. Yeah. But can we have a little caveat really quick, Brent, and talk about like all the things that you are currently doing? Like in the space, like so you're using these tools, but how are you using? What are all, besides the things that you're talking about you do daily, what are all the ways that you feel like you're contributing to L&D space right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for putting me on the spot.
I mean, I can throw some things out there for you if you like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I'm not even really too sure where to go with it. Yeah. I mean,
well, okay. So I've always known you as the person on stage at the Guild events. Like you've had a history of that. Oh, yeah. Now you're at Litmus, and I don't want to put words in your mouth. You want to just say what you do at Litmus really quick? Yeah.
So I'm listed as the Chief Learning Officer at Litmus, but I think the best way to describe what I do is sort of an industry product evangelist, I think is the best way to put it. I like to think of myself as building relationships and trust in the industry is what I like to do, and I kind of feel like is my strength. And I feel like that also reflects on the brand. And so the more I do in the industry, and the more I drag the brand along with me, the more value they get from that work as well.
And I think part of the reason why you do these things is so that you can be a good listener, so that you have a way to reach people and hear and debate issues that you feel are challenges, right? That's why you do these things, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I love to learn. Like I said before, I mean, everybody that's in this industry loves to learn. And I think one of the things I really love to do, and I know it bothers some people, but I love to ask challenging questions, sometimes because I know it gets under some people's skin and it riles them a little bit, but I like to push a little bit and just have those challenging conversations, because I think that's how we learn too, right? I like it when people question the things that I say. I don't ever think that I am perfectly right all the time. Never. When I make statements about things that I believe, I truly believe them, but that doesn't mean that in a day or two I won't have talked to somebody and rethought it a little bit and went, okay, you know what? They had some great points. I'm going to go back and I'm going to restate that a little bit. But, and so you're right. Yeah. I mean, I like to get industry knowledge, industry feedback. I like to help guide the Litmus product because I've been a big fan of it ever since I met Rich and Nicole in the early days when I was working at the Guild, and they had their first little booth at one of our DevLearn events. And it's been a favorite of mine for years. And just as a little plug, I don't mean to be too salesy, but I'm at the C3 event right now, and we're going to be announcing some very cool new features. We just made a really big acquisition that is going to pretty much push Litmus into a whole nother level, which is really cool. I'm super excited about it. So more on that later.
And is it appropriate to plug your event in the fall right now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. How can
So I think this thing is super cool. I like your approach. You're doing something that is, there's so many opportunities in the learning and development industry. And I like your approach and how you're doing this upcoming event. I think it's the right twist. I think it's the kind of twist that should have been done years ago, and you're finally doing it. And it's in a beautiful location in San Diego. Do you want to say more? I don't want to steal thunder.
No, you said great thunder. It's nothing better than having somebody else talk about the event, right? Here, I'll put the link in. This is another fun thing about Blab. You can drop links and whatnot in as well. So yeah, I mean, kind of mixing that conversation with what we just talked about. I mean, I think really what we're doing is putting together an event that is all of the things that I've always wanted to do at an event, and all of the parts of events that I really enjoy, and approaching it the same way I approach new technologies, right? And I want to, we want to help people. We want people to come into the event. We want to put together an event basically that does what we say we do in our industry, right? We're going to eat our own dog food. We're going to, I always tell this brief story. Everybody has approached me throughout my time at the Guild, and any other time it's like, ha, 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 we're instructional designers and we're supposed to know how to make people learn and blah, blah, blah. And yet our own events still have a sage on the stage for 60 minutes.
Right.
Ha, ha, isn't that funny? And I think to myself, that's not so funny. It's like, it's mildly embarrassing if you really think about it. We're supposed to be the professionals. We're supposed to know better. So, shouldn't we do better? Shouldn't we try as an industry to come together as an industry and, practice what we preach a little bit? So that's what we want to do at this event. We want everybody to have goals. We want everybody to kind of, if you've got a problem or an issue or something you're trying to solve at work, bring that and let's talk about it. I'm going to have a lot of friends that I've known over the years, colleagues inside and outside of the industry, people that I know are very, very valuable to the work that we do. And so it will basically be just a ripe environment for you to build your 2017 strategy if you're in a position to do that. Work on your own personal career. You want to get better at your projects, project management. We've got specialists and people that can help you do that. If you want to be a better org person, you want to build an org, you're building a training department for the first time. We have people that have done that that can help. We'll have conversations around that. We'll have short presentations around that. We'll, we're going to do all of the things that we say we want to do for our learners, and we're going to apply it to ourselves in an event format. And what I really want to do is, we're all about performance, right? I mean, this is where our industry is going. We like to measure our performance. We like to know. And I really, really want to stay in touch with everybody. And I want you to tell me when you get back to work, that it was worth it, and that you moved the needle because you were at my event. There would be no greater compliment in the world to me than if somebody said, I finally went to an event where I was able to actually go back to work and have a plan that was actually actionable and not just a thought. It wasn't just an idea. It wasn't just maybe I could go back and do this. It was, here is the steps that I'm going to take exactly, and I'm going to report back or somebody's going to hold me accountable, or, you know, in some fashion, and you're going to be able to say, yeah, we moved the needle, either personally, professionally, as a team, as an organization, or as an industry as a whole. So that's my pitch.
I think that's huge. I think it's going to be an excellent event.
I'm super excited about it myself, to be perfectly honest.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to host a new style event. So let's get back to Blab really quick before we run out of time.
So there's some people who are asking about what you do with that white box on the left-hand side.
Oh, excellent question. So
I think someone asked a question that, are you able to drag that over?
Yes, check this out. I'm going to type in.
While you're doing that, I just wanted to say that one way I think we need to encourage people to do things after the conference is
not over there.
When you come back, do something simple like this, like Blab. Just jump in and you know, try it out, and don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness.
Maybe it's not working because maybe I have too many people in the boxes or something. Don't jump out or anything, but
or maybe you asked the question. Do you need to someone else's question?
Oh, maybe the host can't do it. Yeah, okay. Maybe somebody. So do
Paula asked a question.
You have to do the /Q. So if you in the live chat do /Q space and then type in your question, and it should pop up over here in the white box. Maybe they took that feature out. JD, yeah, this is beta. Welcome to beta, everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, maybe it's a feature they took out. So this is another interesting thing about Blab being in beta, is that literally every morning when I jump in on this, there's always the possibility that there's a brand new feature and we go, oh, yay, and we spend, you know, the first, no matter what day it is, we talk about what that new feature is. Here is something that I did not share yet that is fun, but I queued up some fun examples. So for those of you that have followed my blog for any period of time, may remember me talking about this.
Oh, this is cool.
Wheel drive was soon out of date. But if two wheels are locked on an axle, so that
we got an echo in here.
One or the other has to slide. So engineers had to find a way to connect both rear wheels to the engine without sliding existing muscle.
Is that better?
Which makes this possible of the rear axle. It is called the differential.
So I don't really want to get too much into this. I'm demoing the video aspect of Blab, but this video actually is very, very cool. Done in 1937. They produced this video for the military, and if you watch it from the very beginning, this is about 2.5 minutes into it. And if you think about instructional design and all of the different elements that you try to do, in one movie, they were able to do a lot. And so when I was blogging about this particular video, my point was, what's our excuse, right? We tend to blame technology a lot. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. I mean, granted, they had a movie budget to do this, but all of that aside, if you look at the design and the scripting of how they explained this particular process, the differential has always baffled me in a million ways. And after watching this movie just once, I totally understood, oh, now I get it. So there's that.
Can you also do any kind of
and check that out? Oh, you don't, Liz doesn't see a video. So there's a bandwidth, not a problem, but sometimes bandwidth can be an issue with this. If you don't have good bandwidth on your end, things get a little wonky because Blab tries to decide which are the more important parts to send to you. And same way if you try to get into one of the boxes. So for example, let me just, I've got, I'm the little green guy, Litmus, on my phone. I'm logged in on my Litmus account. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the mobile features. So I've invited myself to join in the other box. And, oh.
Stereo.
Yeah, so I'll just turn the audio down. But, so, still echoey. It's not letting me mute all the way.
That's okay. It's not terrible, Brent.
Okay. Maybe if I hold it way over here.
There you go. That's better.
But so anyways, one of the things that, and I'll just jump out. One of the things that I thought would be cool about that is if you had, for example, if you were able to mount your camera up and down on maybe a whiteboard or something, right? When one of the boxes you could be sketching and drawing, while in the other box is your head shot and you're talking and chatting with everybody.
Nice. Or playing with Lego.
Yeah, or play with Legos, yeah, or do anything, right? I watched one guy had his Blab turned on for like 3 or 4 hours while he created jewelry. And he had one Blab account right focused on his little, his third hand gripping tool and all of his little tools to create these beautiful necklaces that he was crafting. And I just thought that was fantastic. I don't want us to run out of time because I know everybody's probably got a hard stop at 9 o'clock for their next meeting. So I wanted to run through some of these features. There's also a screen sharing feature. So I showed you the YouTube feature, but here is, let me just pick the right screen. There, so there I'm sharing my Safari browser.
Awesome. Very cool.
All right, so and this is, the screen sharing is relatively new. I mean, literally like 4 weeks old, if that. They just got that pulled together. So
Brent, are these sharing items restricted to just you as the host, or can your guests or anyone else share their screen?
I don't think so, but Lisa, I can make you a co-host.
Okay.
And so now do you get in that, do you see the fourth box?
Yes. It says drop in any link to spice up your Blab.
There you go. And there might be a little, on the left side of it, there's a blue icon or a blue button.
Yep. It says I need to add an extension. So I'm adding an extension right now to Chrome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot I had to do that. Yeah. So,
yeah. I don't know how fast that was. Oh, that was really quick.
Yep, there you go.
So, yeah, I'm sharing a not very exciting window. But, yeah, there I go.
There you go.
Awesome.
So you can have co-hosts and you can give them certain responsibilities. A couple little tips. Getting your audio and video set up first can be tricky sometimes, as I discovered the hard way. But as long as you have somebody else in with you in one of the other windows, you as the host can refresh your screen, which basically takes you out of the Blab, but then automatically brings you back in without it shutting down. In the early days, if immediately when the host left, the Blab was shut down and you had to completely relaunch a new Blab and then tell everybody that's still watching the old Blab that the new link to go to the new Blab. And it was kind of crazy, but that's been solved. What else? There are sharing links. Twitter and Facebook you can share out. So while you're in the middle of the Blab, anybody can go over to those links on the left and click that and share with your network. Hey, I'm hanging out with Brent on Blab. Come join us. Same with the Facebook button. I can go in and change. Somebody put in /topic. So that's something that the host can do.
So this is Henry. Henry's been featured in some of our videos at Nielsen.
This thing on? Hello? How do you work this thing? I don't know what's going on.
That is outstanding. I love Henry.
Everybody's been asking me about my Muppet.
Oh, well, he's good. So if I do /topic, I can say L&D talk. How do you spell Nielsen? N-I-E or N-E-I?
Oh, N-I-E. Yeah.
N-I-E-L-S-E-N or O-N?
Yep. E-N.
All right.
What other questions, while Brent's doing that, what other questions does everyone have about Blab and Periscope and any other related technology? Any other technology you want to get Brent's take on? Anyone want to jump in the window?
Oh, yeah. Anybody want to practice? Come on, don't be afraid. I know. Where's Anthony Altieri? He's not with us today, but he's the dark vampire, he calls himself. I have to ask him to be on or else he doesn't jump in.
Oh, so it says someone's calling in.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
I got him. But yeah, you get to see that too. Hey, Trooper Ben.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
The fan.
Are you on duty?
I am on duty. Yeah, I'm sitting in the office, taking care of some recruiting opportunities, looking for ways to interact with the media and the public about the job that I do for the Kansas High Patrol, and getting into being more familiar with new technology. If it's live streaming, through Periscope or through Blab, or interacting with people on our Facebook accounts or Twitter accounts, it's important and relevant, certainly in today's times.
Yeah, absolutely. When I first started jumping into Blab, there was a woman, I can't remember what police force she was from, but she was the PR person, and she jumped in right away and was just trying to figure out Blab at the same time. And I thought that was fantastic. Welcome. Yeah, good to have you. We're a bunch of learning and development and corporate training professionals, and I launched this couple months ago, and we're here every morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And feel free to jump in if you ever need to learn how to train people.
That's sweet.
We're your crew.
Well, that's good. I'll remember your guys' faces, so if I ever see you speeding across Kansas,
Right.
it might be good for you.
Yeah, custom slab. Actually, I'm going to be driving home with my daughter from Iowa, and I think we're going through Kansas.
Well, good deal. Hey, Kansas is a beautiful place. I've been sitting here listening to you guys. You have some very good talking points, and Blab has some great experiences, or has some great benefits. Brent, when you're referencing how Periscope is, really just to put out information quickly, and that's how I use it when I'm out at a crash scene, providing information to the public or to the media, to pull up a Periscope session really quickly and let people see the weather and road conditions, or to talk about the concerns that are happening in this area right then, is very important. Yeah. And then with Blab, though, Blab is this. It's Q&A in today's time. It's times where I see myself gathering up with a bunch of people that have interest in becoming troopers, and we just have a Q&A discussion about what that is to be a trooper, what our program is all about. So it allows me to connect and see a person's face and read or their facial expressions, compared to not knowing what their text is saying. So it's a wonderful platform.
Yeah.
Brent, could Trooper Ben have, his video going and use the other 3 blocks to show other feeds? Like all 3, or could you only share in one block?
What do you mean? I'm not
like. So he's talking about like traffic conditions. I don't know if he had 3 different traffic cameras. Could he have 3 different videos going?
If 3 different accounts. So
smart, yeah.
Yeah, if you had 3 different cameras logged in on 3 different accounts, you could have 3 different angles. Sure, there's no reason why you couldn't. If you had 4 troopers out on the same scene, but maybe the scene was like a mile long, it was some epic wreck. One guy's at one end, gal's at the other end. There's the ambulance person in the middle, whatnot. You could get 4 really cool angles of something going down. That'd be awesome. I'd love to.
And what is that little indicator at the top? I see it looks like 37 people, but 23 are actually visually connected. Is that what that means?
Yeah, so 23 are currently on and watching. 37 have come and gone. So that's what ranks up the total. So as somebody pops in and then leaves, that number goes up. So you'll notice as somebody leaves, the number on the right drops down.
So are we limited to just the 4 blocks?
Yes.
So if someone wanted to share their screen right now, they couldn't.
Are you going to take off, Ben?
Bye, Ben.
Well, I don't want to. I mean, if there's somebody else that wants to take a seat, certainly I don't want to hog this seat. And you guys said you've got the time deadline, so I'll exit out. You guys have a good day.
Okay.
Always buckle up and be safe.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Ben.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That's beautiful. So that right there is why I love social media. It's like the serendipitous nature of these types of things, I think, are my favorite part of doing this stuff.
But Aaron asked if anyone can join any blab, or can you make them private?
You now can make a blab unlisted. Which is another relatively new feature. So if you're unlisted, you have to actually select people that you follow, and you click on them, and then they can join you. I'm not exactly sure how private that is. Quite honestly, I have not tested that out at all. But I know it was a big request for a long time from folks that were using Blab. So if anybody wants to try that out and report back to me, I'd love to hear your experiences with it. But I think that's about as close as you can get to an offline, semi-private experience. Otherwise, yeah, like I was saying earlier, there is we had trolls popping in here. Craig, do you remember? Or JD? JD was here when the troll popped in. It was somebody from Egypt or something like that was trying to
scam you or something.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were doing, but I was just I'm so gullible. I'm just like, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us, And they, so yeah, it was embarrassing, but like I said, I do it so you don't have to.
Well, thanks for letting us hang out and test the technology with you.
Yeah, shirtless dudes on camera. That's right. That's exactly what it was.
Oh no.
So I got in the habit of, so Lisa, you see it says lock seat when no one's in it. So I got in the habit very quickly of, as soon as I launched my Blab, I would lock the seat and tell people in the live chat, hey, if you want to jump in and start chatting with me, just let me know in the live chat, and then I'll open it up and have you jump in. Because if you leave it open, literally anybody that jumps into the Blab can click the join button. And well, at the time it was, and they could jump in, but now they have this extra added layer of protection where I click the show callers and then I click accept. So I can accept or deny them now. So it's a little bit harder for the trollers to hit, but this guy actually he was able to get in, recode my Blab so that he became the host.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah,
wow.
And I no longer had control. Yeah, so that was weird. But
well, I know a bunch of our people probably have to drop for another call because everyone's on a schedule. Yeah. But I just want to thank you for them for an awesome call and letting us hang out with you. I really appreciate it. I think it was fun. It allowed us to test the technology, hang out with you, and get your opinions on things.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, so literally I've committed to 8 a.m. Pacific time every single morning. Mondays are Media Mondays. Tuesdays are Tech Tuesdays. BizOps Wednesdays. Ajay Pangakar is my co-host on Wednesdays. Internet of Things Thursdays is Anthony Altieri as my co-host, and Video Friday with Sam Rogers as my co-host. And so,
wow, that's a serious lineup. Did they just get you by going to blab.im/Brent Schlenkler?
Just /B Schlenker. Yeah, it's pretty much my handle all over the internet. If you go there, you'll see everything. Just follow me there, and every time I'm on, you'll get a notification that says that I'm on. Or if I schedule something, you'll get that notification, and then you can subscribe to it and jump in as well. So it's tons of fun. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'll just do a quick wrap up here. And Lisa, where can people find you if you're interested in promoting anything? What's
well, I'm not really promoting much these days, just staying really busy at Nielsen, but I always enjoy connecting on Twitter. Just handle, I think, is just above my picture here, Lisa A. Goldstein.
Yeah, awesome. So anybody find you there? And Adam, how about you?
Yeah, I'm at Weissblatt on Twitter and Facebook.com/AW Speaking for the resources for my speaking gigs.
Awesome. And I'd like everybody to know also that Adam is a fantastic artist, by the way. And you should absolutely check out his artwork. And I'm going to be hitting you up like I hit Sam up for music. If you could do some logo work for me, that'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Or maybe just a background image. I love the cartoons. Those are great. Although maybe people wouldn't take the Blab seriously. I don't know. But anyways, thanks, everybody. I'm just going to do a quick close before I stop recording, but the Blab will still be going. So my name is Brent Schlenker. I'm the Chief Learning Officer at litmus.com, currently coming to you live from Las Vegas at the C3 conference. We have ATD coming up in 2 weeks. And then, as we talked about in depth earlier in October, we've got another fabulous conference called TLDC. You can see that at thetldc.com to find out more about that. Or you can also hit me up personally at B Schlenker on the Twitters. And everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching this recording. Adios.
Thanks, Fred.